Talk with Easy podcast, where we focus on building, connecting, and networking. Today, I got a special guest in the building, Joe Young.
That's right. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Blessed. Can't complain. How you feeling?
That's right. I'm on the same page as you, man.
Already.
You know.
So, break down to the people that don't know where you from.
Well, I'm from D.C., the D.C. area, everywhere around the Beltway, and in between. So, started, my roots in Northeast D.C., that Riggs and Chillum, that Riggs Park, shout out over there. Chillum Place, stand up. Riggs Road, stand up. But also PG by way of Fort Wash, stand up. What's happening?
Already. How was the upbringing like for you out there, man?
I mean, D.C. is a special place. I grew up when it was still the chocolate city. I mean, it's still the chocolate city. It's just not advertised as such. But, just having so much of, a black business, mindset, it really shaped my view of the world. So, just growing up out there, living through the whole, crack era, that whole thing, to now, where it's full circle, I see a lot of, could've, would've, should've, from some generations from before. Try not to make that mistake now. So
okay, much respect, man. I want to ask: was there any music in the family like coming up? Were you inspired by any?
Yeah. So inspiration is always there, but my bloodline is DC royalty.
Okay.
On the music side, shout out to my big cousin Gary L. Drew. Still making his mark on the music industry. So yeah, it's in my blood.
Okay. Go.
Any
of that involved in there? Would you consider that DC or? Because I'm
where you from?
I'm from Virginia.
You from Virginia? Okay.
But my family was big on go coming up. But as I got older, I noticed they said where it's coming from.
I got
that type of thing. So did you experience that coming up? Was that like a thing?
Yeah, no, it's the thing.
It's the thing.
You know what I mean? So that's like a stamp of
sure.
DC culture. Like, if you don't connect with go for whatever reason, and you from DC, I mean, I say from DC. Like if you've been born at either Hospital Center or George Washington or something like that, you got a DC birthplace, and you don't connect with go like I don't know about you,
right?
But it's that important to the city. You know what I'm saying? So
I follow you 100%. Now, other than go, what else is DC known for?
Rock.
Okay.
Believe it or not, there was a special Dave Grohl. I want to say Foo Fighters and all of that. There was, I think they was calling it Dog Days in DC. But rock is really big in DC because you have so many different genres that kind of take that platform, that DC market. When you think about even music, period. Every artist has to come through DC because the market is just that big for any genre.
Okay.
So it only makes sense for different genres to come out. Rock being one of the biggest ones. Good Charlotte is from, I want to say, like Charlotte Hall or like the Waldorf, La Plata area. So you got that out there too. So
got you, man. So to you, what's the DMV? Like, what does it mean to you?
I mean, anywhere around the Beltway. If you got an exit or two right off of the Beltway, you in the DMV. Like it's I don't get too particular with it. I know some people do, but that's just not
right.
That's just not how I see it.
The reason why I ask because I'm born in '94. I'm 28.
Okay.
I'm an artist, but coming up, it was always a debate of what part of Virginia is considered DMV. So that's why I wanted to ask you that from somebody that's coming from a different part of the DMV.
Yeah, I mean, it really it all depends on who you ask. Because for if you are from the DMV area and you go somewhere else in the country or it's around the world or whatever, as soon as you say, "Yeah, I'm from," let's say they from Montgomery County, they were like, "What?" And you say DC, they like, oh, okay.
Right, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? If you go anywhere and it's that type of reaction, you from the DMV. That's just what it is.
I got you. So I want to jump into the music. Like, at what point in life did you jump into the music yourself?
I mean, I want to say that was maybe about 12, 13. My boy, shout out to my boy Scott Jones, who really gave me the opportunity to actually kind of do some recording. You know, we made a makeshift booth out of his closet, you know, his father's house. You know, he was making beats and everything else like that. And, you know, that's just where it went that way.
Okay. Do you remember like one of your first projects?
Yeah. Joint was called Building from the Ground Up.
Okay.
Building from the ground up, you know, we had this vision on that would be like the very first like project that I ever do, and I'd be able to, you know, kind of draw for that like a Illmatic or you know, a Ready to Die type of joint or whatever. So that was, you know, that was the vision for that, but that was the name of it, Building from the Ground Up.
Okay, man. That's inspirational because I'm sure that was a long time. You know, back if you know from the way it sounds now. Go Time. Break that down for me.
So Go Time, that's the label, but Go Time is also the inspiration behind the music. At this point now, making very specific music use related. So when you think of Go Time, you want to think of anything that's going to help you get to where you're going. You know, specifically in like the sporting space or the fitness space, something that's going to keep you motivated. You know, when you put your playlist together to go do whatever you're going to do, you select certain songs that's going to keep you in the right mind frame, right? You might throw some Nipsey in there.
Right.
You know, you might get some house, some techno, depending on what you into. But, you know, that Go Time is right there with it, too. So, you know, you want to throw some Joe Young in there.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you on tour.
Yeah,
How's that been for
little
you?
tour. I mean, so far, I mean, it's been eye-opening, you know, in the sense of, you know, not really knowing how to go from point A to point B in a musical career or your artist career. It's wide open, and I was told by my engineer. My engineer had been on tour. Shout out Rich Ball. You know, really instrumental in a lot of artists that people love today. Like, you know, he was on. He kind of helped facilitate XXX Tentacion's first tour.
Okay.
And you know, just kind of being that fly on the wall and being able to draw off somebody that has that type of experience. You know, he told me, he was like, man, you do whatever you want for pretty much. It's not a step 1, step 2, step 3. It's just get up and go do it. So, you know, it's been pretty cool. And just to see, you know, my vision kind of take shape in that way, it's just been a dream. It's dope.
Much respect to you, man. I think it really takes a strong-hearted, strong-minded person to really chase after what they know they deserve, you know.
For sure. For sure.
Now, what else brings you? No, sorry, I mean cut you off.
No, you good.
What else brings you to Richmond? Like, what else you getting into out here while you out here?
So this was supposed to be the second stop on the tour,
Okay.
right? But you know, the venue that we were dealing with, that's the other part of the eye-opening piece. It's like when you're doing business in the entertainment space, I see how, you know, it can go either way with artists and then, you know, the venues or then other people that's facilitating this act, right? So a lot of times there are fans of artists who get upset with the artists because they didn't show up or such and such. But a lot of times, you know, the business wasn't conducted behind the scenes in a way, you know, to really make good on whatever those promises were. So, you know, that's the eye-opening piece. So, you know.
For sure. Now, did you have a radio stop this morning?
I did. I was at 106.5.
Okay, how
the
was
beat
that?
with Lily. Oh, no, it was dope. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but, you know, her energy there, you know, allowed me to kind of keep, you know, my energy levels up and everything. It's just been a warm trip all the way around. So shout out to Lily Chanel up there.
For sure, man. Now, you went to Atlanta recently, right?
Yeah, Atlanta was last week. And again, well, Atlanta is one of like my second home for real. I got a lot of family out there. You know, friends that I call family, so they just family at that point. But yeah, that was incredible. It's a dope show. You know, that was actually my first time performing in like, you know, some years. So to be able to mobilize everybody, fly out of state, get everything done, you know, with some hiccups here and there. You know, we end up going to the wrong venue in the beginning because both venues was named the exact same thing, which was crazy. But I mean, I probably wouldn't do that if I knew it was another venue around the corner that said the same thing. I wouldn't have the same joint, but it just happens.
So with that being a minute since you performed, how did you get yourself on track to do it?
I mean, going back to the name of the label, it's go time. When it's go time, it's go time. So you either got it or you don't. So so real quick story. So when we got to the first venue that we thought was the one, oh man, it was jumping. I mean, cars parked everywhere, like people coming in and out. I'm like, you get that feeling. That's like, yo, it's go time. Like it's ready to go. And at that moment, it wasn't that scary feeling. It wasn't that feeling that was like, oh man, how I'm gonna do it. It was the feeling of like, man, watch out, man. Somebody cut the beat on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. And at that moment, that's why I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's do it. And when I found out that wasn't the venue, it was a slight sigh of relief, but it was more or less like, I'm ready. Like, I'm built for this. Like, this ain't about nothing.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
What's some key things that you learned as an artist in the music industry since your start?
It's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. I think now more than ever, I see how closely it is modeled just after just business, just regular business. Mm-hmm. And I think that artists a lot of times get caught up in the magic show of it, or the magic of entertainment. Mm-hmm. And they forget that they're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that reason is to entertain people, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these artists, they want the attention they want something without giving anything. It's a take mentality, right? Mm-hmm. So if you are in the audience, you in a take mentality because you want all the best music, you want all the entertainment, like at the drop of a dime. That's how all of this social media stuff kind of just like, is going crazy. Mm-hmm. But from an artist standpoint, if you come in looking to solve a problem for the people that you're going to ultimately entertain, right. Oh man, you done figured it out. You done cracked the code. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the pinnacle of what I learned. All the other little stuff in between is definitely equally as important, but that's probably like to encompass, like embodies everything. For
sure. Now, if you're looking at the standpoint of somebody that's just starting out, okay, what's some advice that you would give them?
I would say try to find your voice first before you try to jump out there and just let everybody know that you had this talent. I would say try to find your voice first. And that would mean, not only just going to open mics, but I would collaborate with a lot of different artists. Because that's just how, creativity works. Like, you can get around somebody that you probably wouldn't normally collaborate with, but they can give you a dope idea, that you can kind of bend and shape and shift to, your voice and let people hear you. Because that's going back to the solving a problem scenario, is if somebody has something definitively as an option, they will more than likely lean to that versus something that's kind of all over the place. If they know that I provide high energy music, they're like, you know what, I did need like a little pick me up. I'm gonna go in that direction, So I would definitely recommend that. Like, sure. Find your voice.
Got you, and I think that's important. Now, Crank That Part, the video, dope video, dope record,
all the way around. That's what started this whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's what started this whole thing, because I wasn't really actively pursuing a music career. Mm-hmm. It's just something that I did at that point because I still love doing it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what a way to come in with that. So,
now, how much time did it take you to put that video together? Because I'm sure you had, because it wasn't just a basic video, Looks like it was put together pretty well.
Man, so shout out to Fool with the Camera, one of the industry best, but he also DC's own, So I set out to work with, videographers that not only professional, but are able to tell a story with that thing. You know, it's an art to that. You know what I mean? So he's been doing his thing for a while. Like, and he's based out of Atlanta now. He moved out there to do his thing. So shout out to Fool. Yeah, I mean, I gave him the record. You know, he from the city, so he know what I was looking for. And, you know, with the whole stadium feel, because the song had been being played in the different stadiums, like the different college arenas, Maryland University, Penn State University, Georgetown basketball games. So that's what the feel that, you know, we was going for. It just so happened that being down there in Atlanta, he found a great location. So where I shot that at was at the old Morris Brown College stadium out there, where it was, you know, they got graffiti everywhere. I mean, it's just a dope backdrop. And, you know, he brought that joint to life. So
I got you. Now, I noticed you had the Washington gear on. That you were Washington. So
Die hard.
Die hard. Okay.
Don't say nothing crazy. You know, die hard Skins fan. You know, I got a lot of flack when they, you know, changed their name. People was calling me like, yeah, so your team the Commodores now? I'm like, nah, that's not even funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah, die hard Skins fan. That was my first joint.
Now, I want to ask you. Sure. I'm a Dallas fan, by the way.
Dallas fan? All right, well, look, man, it's been great.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and ride this. Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but look, I want to know, what is the ratio of somebody being up there actually being a different, I guess, team fan? You know, a fan of another team.
It's like anywhere. It's like anywhere else.
Now, what about in your family? In your
it's 75% Skins, and then like 25% Dallas.
So no, like
it ain't
Baltimore.
really,
not really.
Nah, we not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot of DC cats that really screaming Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
Now, if they into the sport like that, you know, they follow different players, then more than likely, yeah. But yeah, it's not like that.
Already, so
not that I see, of course,
for sure. Now, what's next for you? Like, you working on more singles, album? You still pushing with your catalog now?
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Lily earlier, I'm making so much music. So in the last like 6 months or whatever, I probably made more music than I have like my whole like career. And, you know, once I understood that it's just something that you just turn on, it's not, you don't have to turn it off and on and whatever. It's just on. And being able to work with a producer that understands that, and he's just, you know, trying stuff as far as the sound. You know, now that we have a direction to go in, it's like we're making stuff specifically for that. And if it works when we listen to it, like if we crank out something, it worked, cool. We're gonna keep going in that direction, and then collaborating as well. So that's just bringing more ideas to the forefront. So. I mean, just more music. So I have the next like 3 projects already recorded.
For sure.
You know, continue to work the catalog, but in a way, again, that is beneficial to whoever the end user is. Just continue to, you know, align my brand with those type of brands that will benefit the most off of, you know, having Go Time or Joe Young as a soundtrack.
For sure.
So,
man, that sounds like you got a good plan.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in that direction. If it work, cool. If it don't, cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, but you know, you having the positive mindset is gonna take you further than someone that's doubting themselves.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And you know, I want to get into your social media and everything before we head off. But
sure,
you know, I want to thank you for coming through.
Oh no, thank you for having me. For real.
And also, keep grinding, man. Keep your foot on that pedal.
Yeah, don't stop.
You gotta drive from what I see that it's gonna make you stand out, you know, from the next. And clearly, you're already standing out, looking at the statistics. But you know, keep doing your thing for sure.
I didn't realize that once you put it in motion like this, you could it's in cruise control. You just got to keep showing up. As long as you show up and you ready to go, I mean, oh man, I could do this forever. Like I could do this as long as you know what I mean? Like that's the part, and going back to your earlier question, that's the part I didn't understand. I thought somebody else was like telling you where I mean, in certain situations, I guess that's the case, but I thought it was somebody telling you where to be at this certain time. Nah, you do whatever. You do whatever you want. All right. Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and I'm pretty sure it's a lot different once you get higher up in the game. You know, once you
and
depending on, you know, your standing with, you know, that's why a lot of artists like being independent too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, you know, because, you know, you got more leeway, more creativity, control.
You can pick and choose the brand alignments that you want, or the relationships that you want to, you know, foster, or your ones that you don't. So yeah, I think from that.
Now for the people that don't know Joe Young as of yet, that's looking at this, that's gonna say, okay, dude speaking that, you know, I fuck with, you know, what can they find you on social media?
So I'm mostly on IG. I just like IG. It's just easier for me. I don't, you know, I know I got to learn how to use other stuff. So, but on IG, you know, it's gotime.ent, and then the other, you know, backup account is Joe Young DMV. So between them two, it's everything you need to know about Joe Young on there.
For sure. Like I said, man, thank you again for coming through. And I wish you the
it's
best.
Been a pleasure.
Keep grinding, doing your thing, bro.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty.
Appreciate you.